The Galactic Concord had long dismissed Earth as a curiosity. Humans were fragile, bones that broke easily, skin that tore with a scratch, lifespans that barely reached a century. Among the ancient civilizations of the stars, humanity was nothing more than an afterthought, admitted into the galactic community as a formality. They were the weakest race. Everyone knew it. When war came, the galaxy expected them to die first. The Khor'Tal Empire spread across the stars like wildfire, merciless, relentless, consuming entire systems in weeks. Worlds fortified with planetary shields fell. Armies equipped with plasma cannons and bio-enhanced soldiers were crushed. Even the mighty Vare Dominion, a species bred for war, had been broken and scattered. So when the Khor'Tal fleet reached the Sol system, the Concord watched with detached pity. Earth would burn, and the weaklings would be erased from history. But that isn't what happened. The first Khor'Tal fleet entered orbit expecting surrender. Instead, they met silence. Not silence of fear, but the silence of hunters waiting. Then Earth's defenses lit up, not shimmering planetary shields or alien technologies, but thousands of kinetic launch platforms, railguns, and missiles. Primitive by galactic standards, yet brutally effective. The invaders discovered too late that humans had spent centuries perfecting the art of war against themselves. They had never needed alien bio-enhancements to sharpen their instincts. War was written into their history, their cultures, their very psychology. The first fleet was annihilated. The Concord dismissed it as luck, a desperate defense that would crumble once the Khor'Tal brought their main armadas. But each time the enemy came, humanity adapted. Where shields failed, humans dug bunkers into mountains. Where plasma cannons destroyed fleets, humans built stealth ships cloaked in darkness, striking from angles no computer could predict. They turned asteroid fields into minefields, orbital debris into shrapnel storms. And when ships were destroyed, humans did the unthinkable, they boarded enemy vessels. With nothing more than exosuits and sheer brutality, they turned close-quarters combat into massacres. The Khor'Tal, bred for domination, had never faced an enemy that fought to the last breath. But humans did not surrender. A human with one arm left would still grab a weapon with the other. A dying soldier would still set a grenade at his feet. To them, every loss was fuel for vengeance. Stories spread quickly through the galaxy. Khor'Tal commanders whispered of humans who refused to stay dead, soldiers who kept fighting even while burning. Alien generals began to dread the reports, another fleet lost. Another system reclaimed, by humans. The galaxy began to see them differently. It wasn't their technology that made them dangerous, it was their will. No matter how weak their bodies seemed. Humans possessed something the galaxy had underestimated, the ability to suffer, to endure, and to turn pain into fury. Within a decade, the war had shifted. Human fleets, once laughably small, now spearheaded counterattacks. Refugee races, abandoned by their own allies, rallied behind them. Where the Concord debated endlessly, humans acted. Where others calculated odds, humans charged headlong into the impossible, and won. At the Battle of Khor'Tal, the turning point of the war, a human fleet of only 200 ships faced an enemy armada of 1,000. The galaxy prepared for another tragedy. Instead, the humans emerged victorious, bloodied, broken, but unyielding. They had shattered the myth of the weakest race. When the war finally ended, the galaxy was silent. The Khor'Tal Empire lay in ruins, and at its heart flew a human flag. The Concord, once patronizing, now spoke with reverence. The Vare Dominion, once proud, bowed in respect. And the smaller races, once prey, whispered one phrase in awe. They were called the weakest. And yet, they endured. For the first time in galactic history, humanity was not underestimated. They were feared. They were respected. They were the race that had taught the stars a lesson carved in fire. Weakness was not defined by flesh. It was defined by will. And no will burned brighter than that of humanity.